Hey friends, good morning. I think it's Tuesday, so happy Tuesday or whatever day you're watching this. I'm solo today. Brian and I had an empty nest over the weekend. Gregory went to South Carolina to see one of his friends and they did some live jam sessions on Facebook. That was fun. And Lindsay's been at home in Charlotte with her family, and yesterday she celebrated her sister Megan's birthday, so happy birthday to Megan. So Brian and I have had an empty nest, which mostly means that we act sillier than normal. Hey Janice, because there's nobody around to watch us being silly. So I've done some marches around the house, like with the laundry, and most people don't realize how silly Brian really is, and how funny. So anyway, it's just me today, so I wanted to pop in and share with you some hard decisions that I had to make last week in order to stay healthy. So most of you know, if you've been watching, hey Aunt Bonnie, if you've been watching some of my videos, that I've been in seminary, and this past spring was the first time I took 2 8-week, like they're condensed, back-to-back courses, because usually I would do an 8-week course, hey Dana, and then I would take 8 weeks off to like recover and clean my house up and work on my to-do list. And so this past spring, I thought, well, I'm just going to start taking back-to-back courses. So I took an 8-week course, Old Testament, like March to June. No, that was January. No, now I can't even remember. February, March. And then I did March to April. I did class, excuse me, not what you want to do live on camera. I did a class on mission. And so then I immediately started another class. And during this time, we've had our niece Lindsay living with us, and I've been a little busier than normal. And so this past weekend was just a bad weekend for me. I just felt so anxious and like my life was out of control. And I've even reached out to my friends and said, hey, I'm sorry I haven't been in touch. I was having to let go of friendships that are really important to me. And I haven't sent out a blog post probably in 2 months. So, and I've been a blogger for 5 years. So over the weekend, I just had to decide, I'm in seminary. I want to make progress, but I don't have to take a class right now. So I had spent 1 week, I was already in a group of other students, I'd already been interacting with my professor, and I just decided I can't do this. Because I remembered last summer when I had Lindsay's twin, Mackenzie, here. I had Lindsay's twin, we had Camp Lisa 2019, and I had seminary, and before you know it, I was in the therapist office. That is what drove me to therapy, was a New Testament class at Camp Lisa 2019. And I realized, Lisa, you were in the exact, hey Lisa, you were in the exact same position that you were last summer before your anxiety got so bad that you had to take diazepam, Valium twice a day just to function, and that's what drove me to the therapist. And so I realized, okay, I'm in the same exact situation. Did I not learn anything last summer? Did I not learn what my limits are? Did I not learn that I have to have some time to breathe in between big projects? I have to have some time to just reconnect with myself, because lately I haven't even had time to exercise. And Brian would say, do you want to go walk tonight? And I'd be like, no, because dinner would have to be at 6 and I'd have to start my evening reading at 8. It was so rigid, and I didn't really have time to spend with Lindsay. We call her Little Bit, even though she's living here. So I dropped that course. I disappointed people. I prolonged my seminary. It might take me like 8 years to get my master's in divinity. But, anxiety-wise, I've been doing so much better. And I don't want to lose ground. So I'm not taking that class. And there are other things that I've had to say no to. I think I said this in another video. I've always used those foaming soaps, and I had to just say, no, I'm not a foam soaper anymore. I'm just going to buy soap. I'm just going to flat out buy soap. And this morning we used the first pump. Yes, I can do that, because we have to do certain things to protect our mental health. I'm on half of my dose of Zoloft, so I'm making good progress. I've been doing neurofeedback, which is a therapy. Sometimes your brain waves are too excited when it should just be a simple thing. And that's how my brain is, especially when I multitask. That's what makes me feel anxious, because I have to figure out what to do first. And so neurofeedback has really helped me with that, just to get my brain retrained to function like a normal person. So anyway, other things that are going on with us, I'm preaching this coming Sunday, and my message is called, I keep rewriting the title because it's a little bit of a touchy subject, but it's a biblical view of social justice. Really looking at the Bible and what does the Bible say about justice, and not just looking at racial issues, which is what we're really facing in the U.S. right now, but looking more globally, issues like poverty, issues like language barriers, wars, refugees, immigrants, education, poverty, just taking a global look at the Bible and what does the Bible say about justice, and what are the things we can do, big or small, to dismantle systems of injustice, to help people who were put at a disadvantage at no fault of their own. So for me, I've been doing some mentoring of young ladies who are Hispanic. A young lady that's bilingual and lives in the U.S. And then also I just started meeting over Zoom with a young lady in Peru. And these are women God has called to pastor and to speak. And I can pour into them. I can help them to become successful. I can share with them my knowledge and what I've been learning for 5 years. And not that I'm not there yet, but I know some things. I know that right now I should be looking at the camera. I know how to set up a set. I know how to do lighting. I know how to watch my own videos and learn from the silly things I do. So there are people that I can make successful. And so just as looking at my message and looking at the pattern of things I know God has pushed me to do, like aprendiendo español por 20 años. Por 20 años. Oh, I don't know how to say he sido aprendiendo español. For 20 years now, I've been learning learning Spanish, and I've had this passion, this drive to mentor younger ladies. And so right now, one younger lady, I've connected her with a life coach to help her define her vision, to help her know what steps she needs to take to become the young, godly, Hispanic, bilingual pastor God's called her to be. There are things I can do that it's just an hour of my time or $29 for a coaching session. Things I can do to help other people who, especially people that can't speak English, things I can do to help them be elevated, to become successful, to become who God made them to be. There are things I can do. Cost me some time. And when I met with my young lady from Peru, I just said, I honestly don't have time to meet with you right now, but I'm going to, because I feel compelled to. Some connections I don't have time for, but God has called me to make time for people, just like, I think it was Elisha that asked the widow. He said, will you make me some bread? And she's like, I don't have any flour and I don't have any oil, but she made him bread. And then the flour and oil didn't run out. And so I've learned that even when I don't have time, when I give of myself, God gives back to me. One other thing I wanted to share is I've found that the interviews with Lindsay have been a really hot thing on my social media. And I really love to hear people's stories. And so I am considering starting to do more interviews. I've been working, you can't see it now, but I'll show you. I've been working on my studio here. I've got some more art that is more conducive for kind of a studio look. I had a solar tube installed in this room for more lighting. So I'm doing things to set this up as a studio to bring women in and ask about their story. I want to hear their story. I want to hear what God has taught people through those places of pain. So if you live in Wilmington and you want to come over and sit on my couch just for a frank, honest discussion, and can be as frank as you want to be, as vulnerable or transparent as you want to be, but that's something that I'm considering doing. So reach out to me and let me know. And especially if you watch my videos, let me know if that's something that you would enjoy. Just hearing other people's stories. And just seeing where there's a podcaster I used to love, and right now I can't think of her name. That's what my life has been like lately. I could go back and find her, but she just interviewed people about their life stories and found out where did their story intersect with their faith, and just what God had been teaching them. So I would love to bring some people just to sit on my couch and just hear their story, because that's fascinating to me. And we can just learn that no matter what we're facing, we're not the only ones. Whether you're a woman that's been through divorce, or you struggle with anxiety, or you've been hospitalized in a mental institution, or whether you committed adultery or had an abortion, or you've had that dark night of soul with your faith, where, I mean, there have been times where I've said, God, if this is what love is, I don't want anything to do with your love. I mean, I've honestly said, God, if this is love, what love is, I don't want your love. There have been times, twice in my life, where I've almost walked away from God. I've been like this close. And so I've been there. So I just want to hear women's stories so we can see how they've walked through hard things, but they've triumphed, how they've walked through the valley, how they've overcome, how they've persevered. And that is so much of what this life is about. It's to persevere and to hang on. Women who've walked through cancer. And I know you're out there watching. So anyway, if you want to come sit on my couch, I kind of need to see if we're a good fit together. But let me know. Just message me, email me, contact me, however you know how to contact me. Lisa@lisamorganmore.com is my email address. And just let me know your thoughts. I tell you what, walking in ministry, building your own ministry when you have no clue what to do. Lately, I tell my ministry coach, just tell me what to do and I'll do it, because it's just so hard to know what people need, what God's calling you to do, what you're able to do, what you have time to do. So let me know if this is something you think is a good fit for me, and how you've seen me grow and change, and what I have to offer women. Let me know. The good thing is that if people come and sit on my couch, I don't have to leave my house. That's what I love, because being a somewhat introverted person, when I have to leave my house, it costs me a lot of energy to leave my house and go meet somewhere. So if people can come sit on my couch, or if we can do an interview over Zoom, and I don't have to leave, then that means y'all don't know if I'm wearing my jammy pants or if I'm if I'm dressed. So, hey Jennifer, welcome. So anyway, those are some things I'm thinking about. Doing interviews with people. Let me know what you think about that. And if you live somewhere else and want to come in and do a Zoom interview, and I don't know if we'll do them live, but we might record them and then post them on Facebook and YouTube, and just to help other people get their stories out, especially other people that are building their ministries, building their businesses. I know a long time God told me that his purpose for me was to be a stepping stone to make other people successful. And if he grows my platform much larger than it is right now, it's not for me. It's because there are a lot of people that are riding on my coattails. There are a lot of people, young women that are in my heart, and that I want to make them successful. That is just really my heart, because for me, I don't have anyone to impress and nothing to prove. So I'm just taking this ministry God has given me one day at a time, and just letting God redirect me. Like, I don't know if my future ministry es en inglés o es en español. I don't know if mi audiencia es español o inglés. I don't know if my audience is even English or Spanish. I don't know if God's called me to the English church or to the Hispanic church. I'm willing to let God redefine my vision and my mission as we go along, because I don't have a clue what I'm doing. But I do know that I love to talk, and I love Jesus, and so I love to talk about Jesus. But anyway, I'm rambling now. I'm heading out to Costco this morning. We're thinking about going gluten-free, which, I just love my cookies. But my husband and I I've gained 10 pounds in the last year. And when you're 4'10", like 10 pounds is a size or two. So I've got a whole stack of clothes in my closet that are no longer the comfy pants. And so I've been I've been buying some new clothes so I can be comfortable. So we're thinking about going gluten-free, and I'm thinking about trading in my daily cookie just for some dark chocolate. My ministry coach tells me that my ministry consists of family, my garden, creativity, ministering to women, and chocolate. Hey Tony, hola, ¿cómo estás? So chocolate is a big part of who I am, and if I were really vulnerable, I'd let you look in my chocolate drawer. Right now it's about 10 feet away from me. I do have a chocolate drawer. So I'm going to Costco. We're thinking about going gluten-free, just trying to work on reducing our gluten right now, eating up my cookie stash. Going to Costco, going to Sam's, going to the bank. My note card business has been booming with people staying at home and writing cards. So going to the bank, going to Staples, because with my midlife mind, I need more sticky notes because I just struggling to remember things. And most things that I say to people, I'll say, did I tell you that? Because I just don't remember, but that's okay. I'm trying to make peace with that because it is embarrassing when I can't remember things. But I don't know, I think it's the 5 years of migraines and all the medications I had to take just to function and raise my children. But I'm going to go buy some sticky notes. And then later on today, I have a Zoom call with some people in ministry. So let me pray for you. God, I thank you for those that have joined today. God, you know where they are and what they need. God, you know what things they need to let go of, so that they can be physically and mentally healthy. God, give them the courage to say no. Give them the courage to draw boundaries around their life. God, give them the courage to offend people. Give them the courage to face the blowback. God, just let them know what you've called them to do in this season, and give them peace about their decisions, God. Show them what to let go of so that they can focus on what they need to focus on right now, God, whether it's family or ministry or growing their business or just resting. God, I thank you for rest, and let all of us learn how to rest in the middle, God, to stay healthy. And I thank you for your Holy Spirit. In Jesus' name, amen. So I have to add, hey, Miss Jean, my latest fixation is I've spent hours like shopping for houses in the mountains. I've spent hours. I've been up to 1 o'clock in the morning many nights looking on Zillow. I've spent hours looking at Airbnb. So right now my escapism is looking at houses for sale or Airbnbs for rent. We're not in a position to buy anything right now, but I've always wondered, because I've had this dream in my heart to have a house in the mountains for probably 20 years since my mom first moved up there. And I've always wondered, I've called it my secular goal in life. But a couple weeks ago, as I was sitting in this room just enjoying God's presence, I just thanked him that here in this room, when I focus, I could feel God. But then it just came out of my mouth, but when I'm in the mountains, God, I can see you. And I realized that this desire that I have to live in the mountains, to be in the mountains, I think it's just a holy desire to see God, because I see him. It's like I don't have to work to be in God's presence. I'll sit out there with a devotional, and before you know it, I'm laid flat out on the concrete praying to God, and it happens. I've had my feet on concrete sidewalks in the mountains because I just so close to God there. Something special. So anyway, we're trying to look at our finances and get ourselves in a position so that one day we could buy a house up there, maybe rent it out to pay for it. I've got to learn how to do rentals. If my mom is watching this, she would say don't do it because she's had bad experiences. But anyway, that's a dream in my heart. So it's okay to dream. Escapism is okay for a little bit, but that's just where I am. Love you guys. Take care. Enjoy your day. Thanks for joining. You can visit my website, lisamorganmoore.com. Go to YouTube and find my other videos at Lisa Morgan Moore. And you're already here on Facebook with me. I think that's about it. Love you. Take care. And I really do love you. You. Even you. You. Even you. Take care. Bye.